In the grand silence of the galaxy, civilizations thrived under their own rules of survival. Predators were well documented across thousands of worlds. Fanged beasts of the jungles of Alaris, venomous stalkers of the swamps of Kresthar, clawed leviathans of the oceans of Viral. Every predator shared the same language: kill to feed, dominate to live, survive with instinct and strength. For ages, the galaxy assumed that this pattern was universal. Then humanity arrived. The first humans ventured beyond their homeworld with wide eyes and bold ambition. They carried weapons of fire and steel, but they also carried something stranger, something no other predator in the galaxy had ever displayed. They smiled while facing death. They laughed while bleeding. They sang during war. The first time alien scouts observed human soldiers in combat, they mistook the singing as some form of ritual madness. They could not comprehend why a species would expose their teeth in a smile while charging an enemy, or why they would create rhythm and harmony in the midst of chaos. To the aliens, it was not bravery, it was insanity. And insanity, paired with survival, was terrifying that IT began quietly, with skirmishes on remote colonies. A band of alien raiders known for their cruelty attacked an outpost of human settlers. The humans were outnumbered 3-1, yet when the raiders descended, the settlers did not cower. They fought with improvised weapons, farm tools, mining lasers, even bare hands. They fought while cracking jokes, mocking their attackers, and roaring with laughter even as their blood stained the soil. The raiders left broken, whispering to the stars about the species that bled and laughed as if the pain was nothing but fuel. That story spread like wildfire. Soon, whispers turned into warnings and warnings into fear. Across the galaxy, predator species prided themselves on their lethality. The fang hunters of Char studied ambush. The venomous crawlers of XYR perfected the art of paralyzing prey. But humans? They defied logic. A human soldier would sprint across a battlefield with bullets tearing through their armor, and instead of retreating, they would grin as if death itself were just another opponent to be mocked. A wounded human would patch themselves up with makeshift cloth, sing a crude song to boost their spirits, and march forward. To every other predator, pain was a signal to stop, to retreat, to survive another day. To humans, pain was an afterthought, almost a challenge. There were recordings shared in the black markets of the galaxy, showing humans in war. One infamous recording depicted a group of soldiers trapped in a ruined building. Surrounded, low on ammunition, bleeding and exhausted, they began to sing together. Their voices echoed through the smoke and fire, harmonizing in defiance of the enemy pressing in. The enemy thought the humans had gone mad. They charged, believing the song was surrender. Instead, the humans rose with renewed fury, laughing and shouting in rhythm, cutting down their foes while keeping their voices alive. The galaxy replayed that recording over and over, and the conclusion was unanimous. Humans did not fear death. Death feared them. Alien scholars tried to analyze this phenomenon. They concluded that humans had a unique relationship with suffering. On Earth, survival had required endurance against predators, hunger, cold, disease, and war. Humans had evolved not just to survive, but to find meaning in struggle. Where other predators killed for food or territory, humans killed for ideals, for loyalty, for causes greater than themselves. This baffled the galaxy. Predators understood hunger. They understood instinct. But fighting for abstract ideas? Laughing in the face of annihilation? Singing through agony? That was something else entirely. That was a new form of predation, psychological warfare born in the soul. Soon, rumors grew. Aliens began to tell stories around dim tavern lights. Do not corner a human, for they grow more dangerous when wounded. Do not taunt a human, for their anger fuels their strength. Do not think a human beaten, for they will rise again with a grin. The tales twisted into myths, each one more dreadful than the last. Some claimed humans could smell fear. Others swore that the human smile was not joy, but a predator's challenge. Some whispered that their laughter during war was a signal to death itself, daring it to come closer. Empires that had once thrived on intimidation began to hesitate before provoking humans. Armies that had once crushed weaker species with ease now dreaded facing even a handful of human fighters. It was said that a single human squad, cornered and laughing, could shatter forces 10 times their size. The galaxy's predators knew that claws and fangs and venom could end lives, but only humans could terrify entire civilizations with nothing but their unbroken spirit. A story spread from the front lines of a galactic war. A fleet had ambushed a human cruiser, crippling it in the void. The human crew should have surrendered, as any logical species would when surrounded and defeated. Instead, the humans broadcast music across every channel. Songs of triumph, of defiance, of joy. Even as their ship cracked apart, they turned their last breaths into laughter and song, mocking their enemies with the sound of life refusing to bow. The attacking fleet was shaken. Many ships broke formation, commanders trembling as if the sound itself was cursed. To them, it was proof humans did not die like others. They celebrated the end. What made it worse for the galaxy was that humans brought this spirit into alliances. Species once enslaved by predators found hope when humans fought beside them. When others cowered, humans shouted encouragement. When others wept, humans cracked jokes. When others surrendered, humans stood taller, bloodied and bruised but grinning through broken teeth. To weaker species, humanity was salvation. To predators, humanity was doomed. In time, the galaxy began to understand that humans were not the strongest species, nor the fastest, nor the deadliest in terms of raw biology. Their claws were metal forged into blades, their fangs were bullets fired from guns, their venom was fire raining from the skies. But those were only tools. What truly terrified the galaxy was the human spirit, the refusal to break, the laughter and suffering, the songs and war. No other predator celebrated the battle itself. No other predator found joy in defiance. Humanity did that. On distant worlds, children of alien races whispered warnings like bedtime stories. If you hear laughter in the dark, run. If you see a smile in battle, flee. If you hear a song rising from the enemy's ranks, pray to whatever gods you know, for the humans are coming. And when humans come, nothing leaves unscarred. The galaxy, vast and old, full of monsters with fangs, claws, and venom, learned a truth it could never forget. True terror does not come from teeth or poison. True terror comes from the ones who face death with a smile, who bleed and laugh, who sing as they march into fire. The humans, the smiling predators, the laughing warriors, the singers of war, and to the galaxy, that makes humanity the most terrifying predators of them all.